I'm Nathan Hayes, a 29-year-old software engineer at Quantum Dynamics, a tech startup in Austin, Texas. For 3 years, I coded late into the night, building systems that kept our company on the cutting edge. But last summer, I learned that even a mentor's guidance can come with a price: betrayal. It began with a project called Nexus, our attempt to break into the cloud security market. I'd been hired as a junior developer, but my knack for problem-solving earned me a spot on the Nexus team under Dr. Richard Powell, our CTO. Richard was a legend in tech circles, a Stanford PhD with a knack for inspiring young coders like me. He'd take me for beers, share war stories from Silicon Valley, and call me the future of quantum. I trusted him completely. Nexus was struggling. Our competitors were light years ahead, and our encryption algorithms couldn't keep up. One sleepless night, I had a breakthrough: a hybrid encryption model that combined quantum-resistant protocols with machine learning to predict vulnerabilities. It was a game-changer, and I spent weeks refining it, documenting every step in my personal GitHub repo. I shared the concept with Richard, expecting his usual enthusiasm. Instead, he nodded curtly. "Interesting, Nathan. Keep tweaking it." I chalked it up to stress. Our deadline to pitch Nexus to Apex Ventures, a major investor, was looming. The pitch was set for a Monday morning at Quantum's downtown office, a sleek space with Longhorn memorabilia and floor-to-ceiling windows. I'd prepared a detailed presentation, ready to showcase my encryption model. But when I arrived, Richard pulled me aside. "You're not presenting today," he said, his tone clipped. "I'll handle it. You're too green for Apex's crowd." My stomach sank, but I trusted his judgment. I handed over my slides, assuming he'd credit me. In the conference room, Apex's investors leaned forward as Richard launched into the pitch. My hybrid encryption model was the centerpiece, described in vivid detail: my code, my diagrams, my innovation. But my name wasn't mentioned once. "This is my vision for Nexus," Richard declared, his voice booming with confidence. The room erupted in applause. Apex pledged $10 million on the spot, and Richard was hailed as a genius. I sat in the back, invisible, my fists clenched under the table. After the meeting, I confronted him in his office. "Why didn't you mention me?" I asked, my voice shaking. Richard leaned back, smirking. "Ideas don't belong to anyone, Nathan. I refined your concept, made it investor-ready. You'll get your chance someday." His condescension burned. I'd built the model from scratch, and he'd stolen it without blinking. Worse, he'd locked me out of the Nexus codebase that afternoon, citing security protocols. I had no proof of my contribution. My repo was private, and Richard had admin access to overwrite commit histories. For days, I seethed. Quitting felt like letting him win, so I stayed, plotting my next move. Richard's ego was his weakness. He loved the spotlight but hated the grind of execution. I knew Apex would expect a working prototype soon, and Richard's coding skills were rusty. He'd rely on the team, especially me, to deliver. That's where I saw my opening. I volunteered for every Nexus task, working closely with our lead QA engineer, Mia Torres, who'd overheard Richard's dismissive comments about me. "He's taking you for granted," she warned. I nodded, asking her to document any bugs or delays tied to Richard's decisions. Meanwhile, I reached out to Apex's tech lead, Priya Sharma, under the guise of clarifying requirements. I shared insights about the encryption model's scalability, subtly emphasizing my role in its design without bad-mouthing Richard. Priya was impressed, asking for a follow-up call. As Nexus's deadline approached, Richard's cracks showed. He missed key integration tests, and his updates to my model introduced vulnerabilities. Mia's bug reports piled up, all pointing to his changes. I quietly fixed his errors, ensuring the prototype worked flawlessly, but I documented every correction with timestamps. When Priya requested a demo, I suggested she review the commit logs to understand our process. She did, and saw my name on every critical fix. The demo was a success, but Priya's follow-up email to our CEO, Lauren Kim, was brutal. She praised the prototype but flagged Richard S. concerning oversights and credited me as the driving force. Lauren called an emergency meeting. Richard tried to spin it, claiming he'd delegated to me, but Mia's reports and the commit logs told a different story. Priya, on a video call, was blunt. "We're investing in Nathan's expertise. If he's not leading Nexus, we'll reconsider our funding." Richard's face went pale. Lauren didn't fire him, his reputation was too valuable, but she demoted him to an advisory role, stripping his team lead status. I was promoted to Nexus project lead, with a 40% salary bump and stock options. Apex doubled their investment, specifically requesting me as their point of contact. Richard stopped coming to the office regularly. His influence diminished. A week later, Mia forwarded me an email from Richard to Lauren, sent the day after the demo. He'd tried to pitch my encryption model as his own to another investor, but they'd already heard about my role through industry chatter. His credibility was shot. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. By focusing on my work and letting the truth surface, I'd turned Richard's theft into his undoing. As I settled into my new role, leading a team that respected my vision, I realized the best revenge wasn't sabotage. It was proving my worth beyond his lies.